Now, Errol Musk has more reasons than many to feel fatherly pride. To be honest, 269 billion of them to be precise. His son is the billionaire SpaceX and Tesla mastermind Elon Musk. Errol, though, an engineer and a self-made millionaire himself, he has 6 other children, so perhaps he agrees with Elon's view that population collapse is the greatest threat facing modernised civilization. He joins me now. Errol Musk, good evening. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Without Piers Morgan, my name's Jeremy Kyle. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Jeremy. Nice to talk to you.
There you are in South Africa. I suppose I would start by saying thank you. I mean, you created this business genius, and yet it would be fair to say, Errol, that all of your kids are high achievers, which means it's all down to you. Is that right? Well, that's what you say.
Well, they are all high achievers, so it would be wrong for me to say that anything else.
Why do you think they are?
I think it's built into the sort of work ethic that we inherited from our parents and, grandparents and so on.
I mean, you run a major engineering business. You were a millionaire by the age of 30. One wonders whether your kids would have had the same success. Actually, it's an interesting subject over here at the moment with everything that's going on about opportunity and what you're born into. Do you think that Elon and all the other kids, if they hadn't been born into that wealth, would have been less successful?
Well, of course. They were used to things that it made it not necessary for them later on to have those things, because they had many of those nicest things when they were children.
Let's take Elon, the world's richest man. Did you put the wind in his sails? Did you set him on his way, or was it all him? Because he's the richest man in the world, and you're his dad. That's quite impressive.
Well, of course, I always encouraged him, and we've never turned away from hard work, and we have a sort of grasp over the world where we feel that we are able to do things, and so we want to do things, and so we try to take on things that other people say can't be done. That's about it,
I get that. Taking on SpaceX and Tesla's quite different to your average take on a different job. There was a bit of controversy this week, which is why you wanted to come on Uncensored, because you said that although you're proud of him, you don't really like him very much, but you said that you were misquoted. I mean, what, are you jealous of him, man? I mean, I think I'd be jealous of my son. I'll tell you one thing, if my son was the richest man in the world, I'd phone him every day.
Yeah, no, I never said anything like that. So I have been proud of him from the day he was born. And a person doesn't suddenly become proud of your child.
No.
That's ridiculous. And then as far as saying I don't like him, I mean, that's crazy,
Well, I know that
I love him,
I know that you felt that you were misquoted, and we wanted to put that right. So, a few more questions, yes. Provider of the world's most richest man. Do you think that his business ventures are good for the climate?
Oh, well, I think in terms of the overall thing, they're not making a great deal of difference. On the rocket side, I mean, obviously, I suppose, I don't know if you're talking about rocket trails, but most of the stuff they burn is hydrogen. So, on the car side, obviously, there's a little bit of carbon saving using electric cars. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's coal-generated power stations, but maybe in due course we won't have that either.
Somebody I read somewhere this week described your son as sort of Iron Man, so my question is quite simple. Is he a superhero or a flawed evil genius, in his father's opinion?
No, he's a superhero. He's a very, very nice person.
I never thought that I would be...
He will help anyone.
Errol, that's lovely. I never thought I'd be asking this on television. A Colombian firm has asked you to donate what they describe as your super sperm because you seem to produce children left, right and centre. More than me. I mean, my dad, before he passed, said, go back to work because you're going to end up with more kids than Boris Johnson. But yours are all billionaires and all over the place. What is it about you, man? What have you got that the rest of us haven't, Errol?
Well, it's 10 pounds per little individual, you know.
OK.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, right, OK. It worried me that it was Colombian, but that's just my opinion. I noticed earlier you talked about being a strict parent. On a serious note, is that something that you think helped all your children go and go for their goals in life?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, they were traveling with me when they were tiny. I mean, all over the world. And I couldn't keep an eye on all three of them. So I had to rely on them, you know, and point out to them, you know, in China or wherever, especially my blonde daughter in China, you know, they wanted, you know, that she's not safe. And so I had to rely on them. And I made sure they understood that I relied on them. And I did not tell them what to do. I never signed anybody's homework in my whole life. In fact, I was quite surprised one time when the boys were in high school. They grew up with me. They were raised by me, and they grew up at high school. They grew up with me, and they came to me with. One day I was at a function, and a parent mentioned that about signing homework. And I said, signing homework? And then later I spoke to my son Kimball and I said, what's this thing about signing homework? He said, oh, Dad, don't worry, I mastered your signature years ago.
Yeah, listen, many kids will have done that. Now, here's a quick question. I haven't got much time. Does Elon turn to you for advice? I mean, I'm thinking Twitter, 44 billion or whatever. Does he say, Dad, what should I do? Because I just want you to know I joined Twitter today for the first time. You can follow me, JK Official. And I just wanted to know what I was expecting if your son's going to buy it, my friend.
Well, yes, I do give them advice, obviously, from day one. And obviously, Elon has a lot of other people giving him advice. But I hope he takes my advice.
So is the Twitter deal going to go through, Errol?
I was asked, 2 years ago, I applied to be on Twitter. And I was told that I was already on Twitter. And that I had 458 posts. So I said, no, I'm not on Twitter. And I had to get hold of the family company to ask them to tell Twitter that that's not me. So there's obviously something not right there.
Very quickly, you advised your son to get security. You said he's becoming more and more political. Is that advice he's taken from you, Errol?
Yes. Well, I hope so. I definitely hope so. And it's a very important thing. Very, very important.
It certainly is. And
a lot of crazies out there.
What an extraordinary man you are. 10 children to 3 women. You make me look like I've done absolutely nothing. You're the father of the richest man in the world. And you look fantastic. If I look like that at 79, I'll be well happy. Thank you so much for joining us. If he does buy Twitter, tell him to get me that blue tick, because honestly, I've only got 12. Listen, I've got 12 supporters in one day. Jesus had 12, and look what happened to him. Listen, Errol Musk.
Really?
Thank you. Well, follow me, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Errol Musk, live from South Africa. Great to have him on Uncensored.